Knights of the Round underwater world travel. There's a lot in this video that you guys are going to be very happy about. With Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth only just now ending, the talks for Remake Part 3 are only heating up. And there are some really cool details that over the next few weeks we're going to be getting revealed to us because the Ultimania has come out and our wonderful community members have been translating and paraphrasing it for us over in the USA because we do not have access to that yet, and it's only available in Japanese writing right now. Eventually the English translated versions will come out, but that usually takes over a year, which is unfortunate. I kind of hope and wish that they would do these things side by side. And so you guys don't miss out on any of this stuff because there's a lot, and I mean a lot, coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay in the loop. We only just finished Rebirth and the withdrawals are kicking in. It's hitting us hard, man. We got the hard mode guide coming your way, so help rate's at 38%, even higher. Now with that being said, let's get into this video. Special thank you to Audrey over on Twitter for paraphrasing this one for us. It is straight up Hamaguchi swinging for all the hype, specifically talking about Part 3, and a very important element and a very popular element that a lot of people, including myself, are excited for. Talking about the Knights of the Round summon materia because he knows everybody is waiting for it and they want it. Specifically, says it right there. He hopes that they can create something that can live up to the expectations for that one in particular. For FF7 Rebirth, the team tried to match the area where summons and sanctuaries appear to relate to the lore for that area. For example, Bahamut in Cosmo Canyon and Odin in Nibelheim. It was kind of like trying to fit pieces of a puzzle together. So the remaining summons that will be put into Part 3 are going to be Knights of the Round, Hades, Bahamut Zero, Typhon. That very well won't be the only summons that will be implemented into the next game. They can very well add a bunch of new ones. I totally expect them to. I personally would love to see Diablos introduced. I think that would be a really fun one. Hope Knights of the Round has its own badass storyline complete with lore on all the knights and how they came to be. Give me all the lore. I agree, Audrey. Give me all the lore. And how exactly are they going to be implementing this, or how they could be implementing this, I think has already been showcased to us. Like what the Proto Relics basically did with Gilgamesh, collecting all those pieces and going through a crazy storyline, culminating into a massive battle facing off against all the summons, including Gilgamesh, to unlock them. They very well could be doing something similar of the sort when it comes to Part 3, introducing the Knights of the Round. And what has me very excited is if I go back right here in the Junon portion, right after you complete specific rounds, you actually get a cool little transition from Shinra, the news department right here, where it goes by really quick. It's actually going away right now as I say that, but it shows you an overview of the map of FF7. But you could see the actual full design of the of the world, which a lot of this stuff has been left off, like the Medial area right here, this down area of all these islands. That's actually, you can't really see that in the game right now. You see Fort Condor is right here, which is cool. It has its own island. Then you got the Rocket Town region, which is pretty much right over here after you pass through Nibel. You got Wutai, which is going to be a massive part when it comes to Part 3. They've full on said it that Wutai is going to be even bigger than it was before. And judging from what they've done with the regions, I would not put it past them to probably make Wutai even bigger and make it into a giant continent all on its own. You know how Nibel, Cosmo Canyon, and Gongaga, etc. are all different regions as part of one continent. I think Wutai could be even bigger than that. I mean, this is what we can expect scale-wise of what it looks like, and it technically is longer, but not as wide as the other places, but they very well could go ham with that in Part 3. And then the Northern Crater, or like the Northern Continent area, which we've only really scratched the surface of this smaller part right here. But that's not the point of why I bring this up. The main reason why I bring this up is if you look on to the top right, you can totally see the Knights of the Round Island right here. That is actually present and accounted for, and pretty crazy to see that has been realized right here. But it is important to note there's another tweet series that Audrey put out right here that says, Hamaguchi says the island where you fight Gilgamesh is supposed to be the exact position of the Goblin Island from the original game. However, since Gilgamesh was already set to appear on that island, they decided to put the goblins in Corel instead, which is tied to the Proto Relic Quest 2, so go figure, those things go hand in hand together. Because for Gilgamesh's island, you do have to go through a passageway right here. You go directly underneath where Midgar is located, and once you get onto the other side, or in this region right here, you end up in, I guess, where the Goblin Island is supposed to be. But seeing that Knights of the Round Island is still, and actually highlighted here, is kind of funny. And of course, the other islands as well. I don't remember the exact locations. I remember there's one on Wutai's continent believe that one is HPMP swap, or it could be mine materia. I could be mistaken. There's another one in between Corel where it's not accessible by traditional travel means whatsoever. You do need a gold chocobo in order to access that. Like, for example, the High Wind is unable to land on the Knights of the Round Island. You got to get a gold chocobo in order to do that. You can breed it, or you can race through the gold saucer to get it. However, whichever method you choose, that is how you go about that. So it's really fascinating to see that is going to be a big focus of the devs, and quite frankly, something that they're making a point to announce and talk to us about for the game. And doubling back to our previous video where Nomura was discussing how they're going to be access certain parts of the maps and world in general with the airships, there also seems to have been a quote as well that might have been missed. I'm not sure. That says how to traverse the ocean floor is also another thing, or an obstacle that they're trying to figure out as well. Completely forgot about that. The submarine allows you to access a whole under region in FF7 where you can come into contact with the sunken Gelnica, which we've seen many of them in Rebirth, so they made it a point to kind of highlight that for us. And everybody's favorite, Emerald weapon. To go to the Lost City and continue some story elements there with Bugenhagen, you do need to go underwater as well to find the Lost Key in order to access certain things within the Lost City. And that's just so far of things that were already in the original game. I could totally see them expanding the underwater region and making it a whole other thing, because if you think about it, at its face, just adding in Wutai and the rest of the northern continent and Mideel do seem like really smaller locations and things that won't take them too much time to really implement, and it wouldn't be adding a whole bunch to that. However, what if, just like in Tears of the Kingdom, there's a whole under section, the depths, that you could explore, which kind of blew my mind when I was playing Tears of the Kingdom. It's like you have this whole map that we know from the Breath of the Wild, and then you have the sky region that you can navigate various parts with, and you can even see them really far in the distance. And then you have a whole underneath region too. On top of that, I think that would be great inspiration for the devs to take very seriously and dive as deep as they possibly can. No pun intended, but actually that's kind of funny that works. Lord, please, CBU1 and whatever team is developing the underwater segments, do not design it like anything of the sort of what your sewer levels are. I mean, your underground levels, they need some work, man. But this, you just can't mess this one up, please. But no, seriously, guys, between the High Wind, accessing the sky, and I doubt they're going to do like a city in the sky type of thing. That really wouldn't work for FF7. Maybe, I mean, I'd be kind of intrigued to see that, but I could totally see the submarine being its own individual thing, introducing a whole new environment and a bunch of crazy stuff that we can access, which has me excited already for part 3. Damn. But that's a really cool idea too. I completely forgot about that yes, the submarine is a thing, and there very well could be expanding just how we navigate the world in many different ways besides the airship and the tiny Bronco, but also underwater with the submarine. Would love to hear what you guys think as well. We got Shinra basically confirming this is what the map of the world looks like, and actually highlighting little Easter egg bits of Knights of the Round Island, which is kind of funny that they know that this is present. I wonder if like Shinra has ever tried to really head over there. The other secrets that are in store for us, I can't wait to uncover, man. I do think a proto relic like quest for Knights of the Round would go pretty hard and might be even longer, considering that there are going to be 13 knights. And if you do recall, guys, there is a little bit of an Easter egg as well. When you go back to Gilgamesh's dialogue with the party and you're fighting him, he does try to pull out Excalibur, and it's like a cheap knockoff and not the original Excalibur, and we all know where that weapon is. So there's Knights of the Round references all over. They're hidden within, just like how the other weapons were referenced and hinted at many times throughout Rebirth. You can see posters of Emerald weapon, you see posters of Ruby weapon, constantly non-stop throughout the game. You're picking up gems, you're picking up emeralds and rubies. And the same thing in Remake 2. There were tiaras. There was 3 tiaras: the Diamond Tiara, Emerald Tiara, and the Ruby Tiara that also resembled the giant weapons. Rest assured, the devs are well aware exactly at what the fans want in these games, and they're going ahead and they're going to work at it. I can't wait till we see the first glimpses of what these weapons could look like. We obviously know they're going to retain the same shape and going to be way more massive than the infant baby weapons. And how will that boss challenge be? Just thinking of the sheer size and scale of it, it's obviously going to be bigger than a summon. Can't be their size, and I would imagine that it will be climbing them as we fight them, right? Or straight up battling them off of the High Wind. and within the submarine. Possibilities are endless. Also, I do feel like the Sunken Gelnica will probably be a different model, a slightly bigger model, in order to have an giant chapter segment there, because that's a really important area that you can go to in the OG game, where you can find stuff like Yuffie's final weapon and a lot of great end game grinding enemies and using morph to get a lot of crazy sources too. Please comment below and let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII Rebirth videos are on the way and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.